Okay, this is a Sansui amp, which is a A2000 by the look of it. I've got a cord on it and that's as far as I've gone. Got the old 110 volt style outlets, but of course there'll be 240 volts, which it's set to. Always best to check that. We'll test the speakers, I guess, for DC. Syscon, that would have, don't know if that's something's remote here and that would run the other systems, or maybe when you do input select or something to do send a signal to the other units. A tuner CD tape phono DAT/VCR processor in and out. So that's interesting. It might actually have a preamp out and amp in by the look of it. Ooh, something's about to fall off here. That's right, I had the end loose because I had to get to the power cord. Better turn the power on here. Standby. So, oh, we've got a flash in volume control for a second. Maybe that's the. Didn't hear a relay click in. I thought, yeah, every time you do something, I thought they might be lights, but they're not. So you can't really tell much of what's going on. Speakers B and A, processor on and off. That's handy if it's got a connection to go through some sort of processor. It's got Sansui on the transformer. Lots of live mains voltage stuff there by the look of it. Yeah, who knows who made this. Doesn't look like it's a Daewoo, at least, like the tape deck. So we better check. I'll turn all speakers on, of course, just to make sure if there is any bad stuff. It's got a massive big STK4191 Mark II. And you can't see a relay anywhere, so I don't think I've got any sort of DC protection. Let's just hope that chip isn't shot, because I doubt that'll be cheap if you can still get it. Well, we don't have any DC on that output. I'll check the other ones just in case, but if it's not on one, it shouldn't be on the other. Assuming they're both switched on. Oh well, that's something. Something just went, guys. A relay for the power on by the look of it, so that's just clicking off. So it's just got a remote receiver in here somewhere. It must have. Probably won't be able to see it. Alright, that's the power switch. Oh, there it is, sensor. It even says remote control sensor. Oh yeah, there's the little module on the board. Oh, that's good to know. Loudness at 10. Balance at 0. Bass at 0. Treble at 0. Let's get some CD signal here. We're on tuner inputs. I'm guessing we've got no sound at all. Tuner, now do I need to turn anything off? Speakers are different. So when you turn the speaker B's on, speaker A goes off? What the? So that works. What a weird amp. Never seen that before. Yep, the processor kills the sound going through. So there's nothing really wrong with it by the look of it, unless I've got something else here. That switch could probably do with a clean. The speaker switch, but I don't think I've ever seen one that turns the A's off when you turn the B's on. Usually you can have both or one or the other. Very strange design, unless there's something wrong with it that's causing that. Unless that's a mute, I think. When it's flickering, it mutes. I don't think there's really much wrong with this thing. They cut the cord off for nothing. Making a few noises after you turn it off though. Could do with a lot of dust cleaning out of it. It's got some NEC chip D7507CU, looks like a microprocessor type thing. quite a big chip there, a few other little small bits and pieces. Yeah, volume is motor driven. Looks like a couple of those, well, one of those pots is mounted on a weird angle, but doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah, so all the fuses are intact and everything, unless there's any dry joints or anything in this thing, which we'll check it for. And yeah, I'll have to take the bottom off anyway, I think, to try and clean those switches. And the volume control, they could definitely do with a clean. Guess I should put some screws back in that end because it's getting a bit annoying floating around like that. That's one thing I never liked about Sansui. This type of cabinet design was not the best. Certainly different. Oh, there's another screw there, didn't notice that until now. How'd you come? It's certainly been hot in here by the look of it. That area there, but I don't see any bad solder joints. The amp chip almost looks like someone's resoldered it. And a couple of these other bits, but maybe that was done in the factory. Few things there I think probably want going over, but nothing definitely faulty. I'd say the caps are discharged because we heard it make those weird noises. It's got muting, but it didn't seem to work after the power went off. And yeah, they're perfectly safe. Because I'll fire up the soldering iron and go over a couple of things there. Yeah, been a bit warm around there too by the look of it. Whatever that is. Yeah, there's a big resistor on the other side of the board. So she's probably done a few hours this thing. I can't really get to anything much here, can I? Where's the volume? The actual pot. I can see all the motor part, but I think we're going to have to take that off to get to it, to clean it. Don't think that's... Oh, we've got the old LED attached to the knob, so you can't remove that completely. Well, you can unclip the board, but just got to be careful when you start pulling on those things. I should really get the socket set for that, but it's coming. Needs a good dust and clean off. Yeah, we've got some big lump of metal work there. Oh yeah, we can get into both of those easy enough. Be nice if it went in the pot. That's got it. I think they had a tuner or something to go with it as well, but I didn't bother grabbing that. Only a real sort of plasticky, not very interesting tuner. Now that should go onto the tab, so I know which way around that goes. Little tab sticking out of the pot to stop it rotating, sort of thing. There you go. Yeah, that tab comes right through to the front, so that's good. And yeah, pretty dusty in behind these controls by the look of it. I should do that. Do I clean it now or some other day? A lot of dust even in the back of the knob. Yeah, I might give that a quick clean. Fairly bland but kind of nicely finished amp. Nice volume control knob on it. That's at least pretty solid. The rest of them are pretty plasticky, I guess, but that's actually got an aluminium coating on it. I think the volume one, which is the only one you really fiddle with normally anyway. Doesn't even matter dust in there, does it? I think you see most of it, but it won't hurt to. You do see it in the little front bit. Yeah, I might as well clean out the whole thing though. That knob still isn't perfect. Just go over a few like that. Joint doesn't look the best. A couple of them look a little bit crystalline, sort of not shiny. Don't think they're particularly bad though. But mainly things like the amp chip you want to check. Anywhere that looks like it's been hot. That sort of connector doesn't look the best, but I don't think it's going out. I think it's just got a lot of dust and dirt on that thing. A big resistor is probably worth doing. Yeah, it all looks pretty good. Just a slight little crackle there, but that's kind of weird. Is that because I turned it off at the... I reckon that's because I turned it off at the power point. If I turn it off there, that'll mute everything I assume before I... And let's do it a little bit. Yeah. I mean, technically no one's going to be turning it off at the power point on a regular basis, I wouldn't think, but that's interesting that it does that. Not a great design on their part, but yeah, if you had a remote and you've got the standby button on the front, probably never going to happen, never going to be noticed. But I will chop this bit of power cord out of here and put solder one directly in, and I'll get rid of all this dust, and that should do it on this one. Okay, giving it a quick clean up, looks quite a bit better. Here's a bit of scratching on the front there and stuff, and could do it a little bit more of the muck rubbing off, but doesn't look too bad. I guess I better hook up the speakers again, clean up the back, put a new power cord on it. Give it one more quick test, I guess, but it seems to all be going fine. Guess I should check the other inputs. Make sure each socket actually works. Where are we? CD. Well, I guess we might as well test the phono with a CD, which will sound nice and distorted, but as long as it's there, at least we know we're getting somewhere. No. Ooh. Jesus. I think I blew my speaker up. Shouldn't be that loud. What are we on? Oh, tuner we've already tested. Weird. And that's why I put fuses on your speakers, but I've never had a phono come out that loud at low volume. But I think we might have popped one. Yeah, I think that one got splattered to oblivion. Let's turn it right off. It certainly didn't sound happy, so I don't know if there was something funny with the amp when we turned it back on again. Maybe there is an issue with that. Or maybe it was just because I had it on that phono input. Yeah, that's one truly destroyed. What did I put in? A 1 amp? But that's why I have fuses on them, because they do get destroyed from time to time. And hopefully the speaker has made it without any trouble. But it's part of the business, is blowing up the occasional speaker, or at least the fuse running them. It always gets you sooner or later. But yeah, it's a bit odd that it came on that loud. Because I mean the output volume's exactly the same as it normally is. So just because you go to the phono input, it should just distort, but it shouldn't come out louder. Should basically come out the same volume, so that's a bit weird. Let's try CD. Helps if you press the button. Tape play. Tape. So good thing I had a fuse on there. Whether that would have blown a speaker, possibly not. You would hope. Oh, we've got this DAT VCR input. Ooh, we do have a diggy one. Okay, so we do have a dodgy socket here. Another one with a dodgy socket on it. Yeah, great. There's always one. And the other thing I'm interested in is that processor, but I guess we're going to fix that first. Is seeing if that processor definitely is the preamp out type of thing. Quite handy to have an amp with preamp out functions. Good for running block amplifiers and that sort of thing. It's possible we've got a dry joint on these somewhere that I missed. Bit hard to even see them, to be honest. Which socket is it? I reckon it's that outer one there. That pin there, I'm guessing. Yeah, they don't make them real easy to access with this metalwork coming underneath. So it's this socket. Hard to tell if that's a dry or not. It was not the world's best looking joint, but oh, that's of course, as soon as I touch it, the CD player gets the end of the disc and makes me wonder what that noise is. Now, hopefully I'm getting that one without shorting anything out. And yeah, always remember you've got the bottom of the amp off if it's got the top cover on, because it's easy to put your hands under there and shock yourself. Oh, CD stopped playing, didn't it? What are we on? That. Still dicky. So another dicky socket itself. Yeah, it's rather tarnished looking. Wow, they really are tarnished. Just that socket for some reason, it's different to the ones next to it. It sticks out more. And the sockets are as black as. That's why I was rotating the plug-in and stuff in there a bit in case it was... it's the 3 pins... Oh, hang on, so there's 2... No, it's got extra pins on it. What the... It's got 2 rows of pins on it. That doesn't make any sense. No, yes, there's a couple more. 2, I'm pretty sure there's 3 more. But I can only see 2 on the circuit board. That's weird. There's 3 pins there. Oh, actually, have I soldered the right? There's more pins on it. Oh, don't make me take the back off. Okay. I soldered 3 pins, but it turns out there's a 4th on that side. Might be able to get to them just in case it's just a solder joint. No, soldering iron ain't gonna reach. Including a lot of screws to undo. What on earth is that? I can leave them on possibly. Oh, that's a transformer actually. Let's leave that attached. That's the circuit board. Syscon connector. That does not want to come off for some reason. Maybe I do need to drop the transformer, but why am I still attached here? Ah, missed one completely. Still got some underneath, or is it a circuit board screwed to it from... Can't see anything. Heatsink should be... it's not, doesn't seem to come. Oh, it's hooked over it. That would explain that, so that's... Got to lift it up a bit. Still seems awfully well attached. We've got some weird little metal pins near the sockets that seem to hold on. Coming through the screw holes, they've got some sort of clip-in thing. I'm going to have to bend them down a little bit. I guess the screws would have bent them out when they put them in originally. Oops. Not that much though. Are both sides bent it? Those sockets are as if they're completely solidly attached. Nothing is letting go. The earth pin isn't doing anything. What on earth is holding that together? It is just those things, I think, but where the circuit board is finally. That was very tight. Might have to release that bit as well, but that should get me to the sockets anyway. Yeah, those connections certainly don't look good, but that doesn't mean a lot. Yeah, that was a pretty dry joint. But that could just be because of the tarnishing. Oh, that one's as dry as. That's completely shot. That was actually the earth for one of them, I think. Maybe I should do them all while I'm here. One's iffy. Bound to be more. Yeah, this one here doesn't look... Yeah, that's right on the verge. If it wasn't dry, or didn't show any signs of being broken, but that was right on the edge of it. And And I guess we better check these other RCAs. Might as well just resolder everything, because you don't want to pull this to bits again. Yeah, this one here looks, yeah, that was definitely cracked most of the way around, and the one behind it. So hopefully it's just a bad solder joints, but we may still have an issue. That socket quite tarnished looking, or the pins coming out the back of it are. Oh, that's not connected to anything, so oh yeah, these definitely all needed a resolder. So maybe they played up for whoever tested this thing, and I've just been lucky. That's been resoldered by the look of it. Oh, that's only the Syscon connector, but still. Someone may use, oh, that one's not connected. It may use it one day, and that is rather iffy too. So that one's a bit going over. So there are a few dry joints, they just weren't anywhere visible. Yeah, the end pin on that rather bad. That'll be right though, they all hide when you can't see them, and you think you've got the thing going, and you haven't. But that's where I test everything. That's working now. Yep, that's all functional now. So that was dry joints. Okay, left it running for a bit and it seems to be going alright. I forget what input I'm on now. CD. We'll turn that off. What I would like to try is whether that processor out is the preamp out. Hook up my other amp. We're still on CD input, I think. Only problem is I suspect the in might be the out. Oh wait, I've got to press the switch, that's what I forgot. Where's that switch? Processor on, so I probably did have on the right one. Got an auxiliary in. Let's check this. Yeah. Why do I have no sound out of the amp? Ah, volume's at minimum. That wouldn't help. There's always something. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it doesn't do volume. The on-off processor switch doesn't do a thing. No, so that's really not much out there. It's not like a proper pre-out. You probably could hook in a graphic equalizer or something, but not what I was hoping for. Let's just try that input one more time. And I'll get our speakers back up. Dat VCR. Come on, Dat VCR. Oh, take it on. Yeah, that seems to work alright. Wants a good testing, of course, but that can wait for another day. Needs a good crank up for half a day or more, probably is ideal with amps. Just give them a good long run, get them right up to reasonable temperature, and just fiddle with all the controls and stuff, just make sure I haven't missed anything. But yeah, it's nothing spectacular, but not too bad. A little sort of late 80s, early 90s amp. Good basic little system for someone. Anyway, thanks for watching.